Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Abhishek. I'm based out of Mumbai, India, and I make YouTube videos every Sunday where I discuss skills that you weren't taught in school. And as you can see, it's raining today. In today's video, I'm going to discuss about this book known as The Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And despite being so popular, why is it the worst book on personal finance? For starters, any book that takes about 200 pages to tell you something that could be said in a single sentence is a non-starter. It'll do nothing but waste your time. This piece of trash has sold millions of copies and have literally wasted tens of millions of hours of humanity. And it's the worst thing you can do as an author, waste somebody else's time, and this book excels at that. To be honest, like a lot of young, naive and broke chaps, this was my first book on personal finance that I had ever read. And it's not that I'm roasting this book without reading it. To be honest, I loved it back then, but the older I grew and the more knowledge I gained on finance and money and life in general, I came to realize just how bad, how worthless this book is. In fact, any person who has even a tiny bit of knowledge about personal finance would know that this book is garbage. Now, the question is, if it is so bad, why is it so popular? And for that, you have to understand who is it popular among. Mostly young, dumb and broke folks who do not know the first thing about money. This book sells a get-rich-quick scheme and tells you why it is stupid to have a job. And 99% of the folks who read this book are actually looking for a shortcut. They want to get all the benefits without doing the actual work. And in my teens, I belonged to that group. I was looking for a shortcut without doing the work. And that's why I love this book back then, not now. The hardcore fans of this book are folks who are trying out different schemes but are failing every day. It's almost like depending on a lottery win to make a living. It's like throwing random darts and hoping that at least one of them would hit without doing like anything concrete. Just trying out various schemes and hoping that at least one of them would succeed. Because it's easy in so many ways. What's really hard is to do actual work, real work. And making money is hard work. Remember, any book, like any book that is selling you an easy way to get rich is actually an easy way for the author to get rich off of you. And that is what really happened. This guy, the author Robert Kiyosaki, didn't have a dime to his name before this book happened. He self-published this book and went around giving talks and organizing seminars to promote his work. His audience was mostly lottery ticket buyers, folks who wanted an easy answer to a hard problem. And that is exactly how this whole self-help industry works. They sell you an easy fix to a hard problem and they get rich off of the people who believe in them. You see, life is hard. Making money is hard. Getting rich is hard. Hell, even getting a good job is hard. And the faster you understand this, the better off you would be. And anybody who tells you otherwise is trying to sell you something. Do not be foolish. Do not believe in them. And never ever buy from them. And especially do not believe a guy who's friends with Trump and wrote not only one but two books together. And one of them has this ridiculous title, Why We Want You to Be Rich. Oh my God, it's the epitome of cringe. Trust me when I say this, not reading a book as bad as this is equivalent to reading a good book. Do not read books written by charlatans. Never. They'll only fool you and rot your brain. But yes, in all honesty, this book has one or two good ideas that kind of sound nice. Ideas that sound nice are good in theory. Ideas that make you feel that you have just had an epiphany, that you have discovered the secret. But ideas that are not very practical. The core idea of this book is to buy assets and avoid liabilities, which is in general very good advice, but it doesn't make sense when Kiyosaki takes it to the extremes. For example, he promotes this idea that you should not look at the house you buy as a place to live, but rather an investment which you can rent out and make money off of it. Because if you're living in the house you've bought, it's a liability, it doesn't give you anything in return, and anything you buy should give you something back in return. That is like the bottom line. And this whole philosophy makes sense if your only goal in life is to make money for the sake of making money and not enjoy the fruits of money. In Kiyosaki's world, instead of spending money on a vacation, you should invest that money so that it gives you good returns. It's always about returns, nothing else. Returns in terms of money, measurable money, nothing else. And you should use that money you earn back from your investments to spend on vacations. Again, this sounds nice. This sounds very practical. Good advice. But once you get into the game, into the weeds, you soon realize that if you have to solely depend upon the return from your investments to do anything for fun, such as going on a vacation or maybe buying a car or something, then it's gonna be a hell of a long wait. These ideas written in this book are nice to read, nice to debate on, very theoretical, good for discussions and intellectual masturbation, but like communism, not at all practical. You see, the goal of life isn't just to stay alive or just to survive. The goal is to live an enriched life, and sometimes that cannot be measured solely by money. For example, if you go on a vacation, take a sabbatical, buy a place you can call home, you are investing in the quality of your life. And unless you are taking debt to do all that stuff, I would say you're doing totally fine. The point is not to become rich for the sake of becoming rich. If you do not define what being rich means to you, then no matter how much money you make, you never feel rich. For example, my partner and I live a life which is super comfortable for the both of us. We earn significantly more than we spend and get to do all the things we love. And that is more than enough for us. Our safety nets are taken care of, our investments are in place, we have enough FU money to simply quit our jobs whenever we want and to do whatever we want with our lives. We have that freedom. Tomorrow, if our earnings double for some reason, our lifestyle is not gonna drastically change. Whatever more we earn is always gonna be a bonus for us. And most importantly, no matter how much more we earn, our only goal is to never be stupid with money. Period. Which means we do not spend money we do not have, we do not buy things we do not need, and we do not invest money without following the 10% rule. Before I leave, if you really want to learn more about money, here's what you should read. Read The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. It's super awesome, to the point, very practical, zero BS. I own the Kindle version, the physical copy, as well as the audiobook version. That is how much I love it, and I cannot recommend it enough. Read it, it'll change your life. And let me know what you think about Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you completely disagree with whatever I said, if you're a die-hard fan of the book and you have strong reasons, then let me know in the comments. And if you agree with me and if you dislike the book, not a big fan, or completely hate the book, do let me know that as well. And if you want to learn more about money, watch this video here where I discuss why we make poor money decisions. I'll see you next week. Take care. Till then, bye-bye.